Hey YouTube, my name is David White, otherwise known as dwhitebass. That's just what my channel says. It's not original, but it exists, so deal with it. As a lot of you know that watch my videos, I went to Berklee College of Music, and I get a lot of questions about auditions, what it's like there, what the bass teachers are like, a lot of those general questions. So I'm going to make a video that's going to take you through my audition process, what it was like to go there, and all those sorts of frequently asked questions. 1. I did not finish Berklee. I spent 2 years there before I dropped out. 2. Berklee does not endorse this video in any way, so yeah. 3. This is just one person's experience at the school. Please check out other videos. There's some great ones that friends of mine have made. There's one that's made by Joe Bissell, who he made it on like the first day that he went there, and there's another good one that's JP Bouvet, who it's more specific to drum auditions, but it's a very good video nonetheless. You can find those links down there. Check them out, don't just listen to me. I auditioned in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm originally from Columbus. And I did their, I guess it's like their audition tour. I think it's called something else, but that's basically what it is. There are some advantages and disadvantages to doing that. Advantage that I saw was the fact that I only had to drive 2 hours with my dad to go audition. It was at Tri-State Community College. And they auditioned in their big theater, whatever it is, I don't remember. The advantage there was the fact that we didn't have to buy 2 plane tickets to Boston. We also didn't have to drive there, I didn't have to worry about getting my bass there. There's a whole lot of logistical stuff that was eased by just sucking up and getting up early and driving in Cleveland. The disadvantage to doing the tour that I have seen is the fact that you generally are not auditioning for somebody who plays the same instrument as you. Now that's not always the fact, but when I auditioned I had John Babunya, who is in the guitar department. He's an incredible guy, and I also had a cello player, and forgive me, I can't remember his name. But depending on what you're doing, you know, you don't have somebody who plays the same instrument as you. Now that is not to say that because they don't play the same instrument as you, they're not going to appreciate it as well. These are some of the most highly qualified musicians in the world teaching at this school. They're going to know within the first 30 seconds if you can play or not. As far as what I played, I did a transcription of Tom Barney's line on Gaslighting Abby off the Steely Dan record 2 Against Nature. I think I did like a verse and a chorus and a verse, and then there's this cool kind of neo bebop thing in the middle of the bridge that I played, and that was all I played. You can play whatever you want. I have known guys to go in there and play a Beyonce tune. Actually, I did a Beyonce tune for one of my auditions at Berklee. There are people that go in there and play a classical etude. There are people that go in there and play a weather report thing or a Jocko thing or whatever. The one piece of advice that I can give you, as somebody that has gone through Berklee and has gotten to know the faculty and has had this discussion quite a bit, is that you need to pick something that represents you. I would caution you from doing a chord melody or a Jocko transcription or a Ray Brown transcription, anything like that. The reason I say that is specifically with the chord melody. Unless you're doing something outstandingly different from a lot of people, or you're playing giant steps in 9 and G flat, whatever, I would caution you from doing that, because it doesn't necessarily represent what kind of player you are. Now, if you're a straight ahead guy and that's your thing, by all means, go for it. But, you know, if you are really a funk guy, or if you're a pop guy or anything like that, don't go in there and play blue bossa or whatever, a standard, because that's not going to represent who you are. That's not going to represent what it is that you have to offer the school. I also wouldn't go in and play the flashiest thing that you can. Now, granted, you obviously want to play something that shows off your chops, but, you know, maybe that Dream Theater solo isn't the best idea. The thing that you need to realize about the audition is that you shouldn't be looking at it as something where you have to show the world and you have to prove, you know, that you've spent all this time doing whatever in your basement. You need to look at it as, this is what I do, this is what I can offer to this school. And if they like you, great. If not, you know, there's a lot of other things you can always consider. You also need to realize that no one is there to see you fail. There's nothing worse than sitting in a room and watching somebody biff an audition. It's really painful. But you need to know that the people that are there want to see you succeed as much as anybody else. They don't want to turn people away. Unfortunately, some people will not make it. That's a fact of life. But nobody is there, you know, like this, being like, okay kid, show me what you got. That's not how the school works. And I think that Berklee sometimes can get a bad rap from that. The biggest piece of advice I can give you about the audition is just be yourself. I know it's a cliche, but, you know, do what it is that you do, and if they like you, sweet. As far as what the audition was like I said, I played the Tom Barney line. It was about half hour long, I want to say. Now, granted, this was almost 4 years ago now, so it's, you know, my memory might be a little fuzzy. So I came in, introduced myself, shook their hands. They were very nice. Played my thing. They dug it, and right after that, I think we did the sight reading next. Now, another full disclosure thing. I started as a classical upright player, so reading was the first thing that I learned. So the reading was not very difficult for me. Now, I understand that reading seems to give a lot of people an anxiety attack. I will say that the way, at least that when I auditioned it was set up, was that I think there were 8 or 9 different examples, and they ranged from like the easiest, like half notes, you know, open string, all the way to the 16th note funk thing. Now, I was lucky, I didn't have a problem with that, but the thing that you also need to realize is that at least at my audition, what they did was have you sit in the room, you know, you get prepared, and then like 20 minutes before your audition, they take you to a practice room, they give you the sight reading stuff, and they give you time to look over it. So it's not you're on stage or in an audition setting and that's the first time you're seeing the music and they're like, here you go for it. So you do have a little bit of time. If you're a slow reader, you got some time to work stuff out. The other thing that you need to know is that you are not expected to play everything, you know, all the examples perfectly. You know, if you can only work through 3 or 4 in the time that you have, that's what you got. You got to live with, you know, with the cards in your hand. After the sight reading thing, I happened to bring in a real book. I don't really know why, come to think of it, but I brought it in, and John Babunya, who I auditioned for, is an incredible jazz guitarist, and he saw that I brought it in. He's like, you want to pick a tune? And I was like, okay, sure. So I stupidly picked A Night in Tunisia because I knew the bass line, and I didn't think about what it was going to be like soloing over the changes in the A section, but I did it anyway. So we picked that, we played through it, he soloed a little bit, I soloed a little bit, and you know, that was it. You know, shook my hand, and you know, that was the audition. It was a very relaxed thing. Now, I was very nervous because I knew what was on the line here, you know, not only getting into the college, but also getting into scholarship position. The other question I actually get asked a lot is, what should I wear to the audition? I saw anything from people wearing suits to a guy showed up in, I think, pajama pants. So wear whatever you like, but this is what I'll say about it. Show that you care. Show that you realize that this is a big audition. No one's expecting you to wear a three-piece suit, but, you know, maybe a collared shirt isn't such a bad idea. So that's what the audition process is like. Best of luck. Work hard. If you have any questions about specifically the audition process, leave them in the comments section below. I'm going to be making another video soon here of what it was like to actually be in the bass department at Berklee, so keep an eye out for that. Also, there's should be a couple videos off to the side there of me playing. Check them out, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Good luck.